Your child watches one short video. I mean, it seems completely harmless, right? It's just a quick 15-second clip to pass the time. No big deal.
But then it's another, and then another. It's fast, it's colorful, and honestly, the algorithm is acting exactly like a personalized slot machine. It's just constantly serving up content that perfectly hits their sense of humor and curiosities.
And boom, before you know it, a whole hour is passed. Does that sound familiar? Look, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and all these other short-form videos have become a huge part of our kids' lives. But here is the critical question every parent really needs to be asking. Are these videos simply entertaining our kids, or are they actually changing the way their brains work? Well, the answer might actually surprise you. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating and, honestly, sometimes a little alarming science behind short-form content. We're going to unpack exactly what every parent needs to know about how this highly stimulating digital world is physically and psychologically impacting our children. Let's kick things off with Section 1, Inside the TikTok Brain.
So to truly get what's happening here, we have to look at how today's digital landscape is actively shaping tomorrow's minds. Every single time a child swipes and discovers a funny or exciting new clip, their brain releases a hit of dopamine. Now, dopamine makes us feel good, right? It's a natural part of our brain's reward system. But the problem isn't the dopamine itself. The real issue is when the brain gets used to this constant, non-stop, high-frequency stimulation. Over time, that actually lowers a child's tolerance for delayed gratification.
And this creates a massive conflict in the brain. Think about it like this. Real-life rewards, reading a book, learning to play an instrument, or finishing a puzzle, those are slow. They take serious effort. And the reward? Well, it's delayed. Short video rewards, on the other hand, are fast, totally effortless, and instant. So when a kid's brain gets accustomed to getting a brand new reward every 15 seconds, slower, sustained, real-life activities start to feel, well, completely unrewarding and agonizingly dull by comparison.
Which brings us to a super important insight. The Institute of Child Psychology points out that while infancy is the first period of massive brain development, the tween and teen years are the second. It's literally the great rewiring. Because the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain that handles self-control and deep focus, is still developing, prolonged scrolling can actually strengthen the lower parts of the brain that just crave instant gratification. If they aren't practicing patience, those essential deep learning pathways can literally get pruned away.
All right, moving on to Section 2, the illusion of learning. Now, I hear parents say this all the time. Well, my kid is just scrolling, sure, but they're watching science experiments and history facts mixed in with the funny dances. That's educational. Actually, research from the International Education and Research Journal shows it's really not that simple. See, alternating between highly stimulating entertainment and educational content drastically increases cognitive load. It's basically intense media multitasking. This chaotic, rapid switching completely overwhelms the brain's working memory. So instead of actual deep comprehension, it leads to what researchers call shallow processing. It basically just drains their attention span and reinforces those addictive dopamine loops, making true, meaningful learning incredibly difficult. Let's jump into Section 3, 4 warning signs to watch. So, how do you know if this is actually happening in your own home? Well, let's break down the real-world symptoms you might notice when a child's reward system is getting overstimulated. There are 4 main red flags here. First up, reduced attention span. This is when your kid can easily watch videos for 2 hours straight, but they completely struggle to focus on just 15 minutes of math homework. Second is increased boredom. Instead of getting creative when they have nothing to do, they feel instantly uncomfortable and complain about being bored the second they don't have a screen. Third is emotional dependence. This means using screens to self-soothe every single time they feel sad, angry, or stressed, rather than learning to just sit with those uncomfortable feelings. And the fourth sign? Sleep problems.
And the data totally backs this up. A study published in the International Journal of Indian Psychology proved a direct link here. Look at this. Excessive short video viewing, especially right before bed, drastically drains attention resources for the very next day. Plus, it increases sleep latency, meaning it takes them way longer to actually fall asleep, and it significantly lowers overall sleep quality. Think about it. The bright screens combined with high cognitive stimulation make it practically impossible for the brain to naturally wind down.
Which leads us to Section 4, technology is not the enemy. Now, before we all panic and throw our routers out the window, let's just take a breath. We need to be absolutely clear about something. YouTube, Instagram, short-form videos, they are not inherently bad.
When used correctly, they offer incredible education, massive inspiration, and a great canvas for creativity. I absolutely love this perspective from Dr. Catherine Williamson at the Children's Hospital of Orange County. She says we should think about screen time like dessert. It's a treat, and just like a sweet treat, it's not inherently bad. The issue isn't the technology itself, it's how much of it is being consumed, and what it's replacing in a child's daily diet of activities. I mean, you wouldn't let your kid eat chocolate cake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right?
Okay, Section 5. What smart parents do.
So transitioning from the problem to the solution, what are the actual actionable boundaries that empower families to build healthier habits? Well, by following these 5 steps, you can intentionally manage tech use in your house. First, prioritize creation. Have them draw, make their own videos, or write stories. Don't just consume content, create it. Second, establish screen-free zones. This is huge. Keep phones out of bedrooms and far away from the dinner table. Third, encourage long-form activities. Balance out those fast-paced videos with slower activities like reading, building Legos, or playing sports to literally rebuild that attention span. Fourth, watch together. Co-viewing is a great way to build critical thinking. And finally, number 5, be a role model. Let's be real, if we as adults are constantly doom-scrolling on the couch, our kids are absolutely going to copy that exact behavior. We have to prioritize our own offline dopamine through physical movement and real-world connection.
To help you set those boundaries, the American Academy of Pediatrics provides this super helpful baseline. For kids under 18 months, it's pretty simple. No screens at all, except for video chatting with grandma and grandpa. For 2 to 5-year-olds, limit it to 1 hour of high-quality content daily. And for school-aged kids and teenagers, the whole focus shifts to balance. The AEP emphasizes that the quality of the content, the context of how it's consumed, and watching it together are just as important as the actual time spent looking at the device. Basically, screens should never ever crowd out sleep, exercise, or homework.
Finally, Section 6, Raising Focused Kids Today. Here is why all of this matters and what you should really take away from this explainer today. In a world completely full of digital distractions, the ability to focus, to be patient, and to just sit with uncomfortable feelings is rapidly becoming a literal superpower. Our children absolutely need to learn how to navigate screens. I mean, it is the world they're growing up in. But remember this, technology is a tool. It's not a babysitter, and it is certainly not a replacement for family. Our kids need real, face-to-face conversations, they need messy outdoor adventures, and they need genuine human connection far more than they need the next viral video.
So, I want to leave you with this provocative thought to chew on today. Are short-form videos rewiring your child's brain, or are you actively teaching them how to use screens wisely? Look, the goal isn't to banish screens forever. The real goal is to ensure they don't replace the beautiful, slow, effort-based experiences of real life. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you